It's only keeping of A. Very goodness. All the same Shemayim. La 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 la. You're older. You know that the Rebbe's and Shemus. There's the story with the S. You know the story with the S? I'll tell it to everybody. Okay, this is a bit of Lashon Hara. So this is not the Farbrengen. This is gossip. There's a story with the Marash. Yeah, the Marash was in a cheder. The Marash was a child. He was incredibly intelligent, unbelievably smart. In a world of geniuses, he was a genius. He was very precocious. He had enough confidence for 100 children. He was incredibly confident. And his nephews, who were older than him, were very envious of him. Why? Because he was never ever uncomfortable. With the biggest chassidim, he was jump. Anyway, so he was sitting in cheder. And the whole cheder was the Tzemach Tzedek's children and grandchildren. So the Marash was in the room, and a few of the other nephews who were older than him were sitting in the same room. And the Rebbe Marash was constantly pointing out how dumb they were. There was a class where the average IQ was like 140. The Melamed was a Goan, and the students were geniuses. But next to the Rebbe Marash, they were kids. And he was always teasing them about how dumb they were. Like one day, the Melamed asked a question. So the Rebbe Marash said, I know the answer, but I'm not going to say it. A bunch of dumbbells. They were his nephews, mind you. So Zalman, his nephew, was 4 years. His senior was very hurt. His feelings were hurt. So he went to his father. So his father came to the cheder. Says, this is the Rebbe Marash older brother. This is just a disparity of about 30 years between them. Anerach, 25 years. And the Rebbe Marash was 7 or 8. The Baril was in his 30s. And he was sitting in the back of the room. The Rebbe Marash was a troublemaker. He was playing with a pocket watch. The Rebbe Marash was incredibly mechanical. He was very physically handy. You know that in the Rebbe's room, this is interesting. If you go into the Rebbe's room, at the far end of the room, there's a round table that's covered with a plastic. Did you ever notice that? That table is Maaseh Yodav of the Rebbe Marash. The Rebbe Marash made... You have to look at the legs. The craftsmanship is perfect.
They're carved.
Yeah.
And they don't go straight.
Yeah. It's perfect. The craftsmanship is amazing. The Rebbe Marash, as a child, did it as a hobby. As an adult, he needed it because he had all kinds of problems with physical problems, and he needed it for dexterity. He used to do things in Lubavitch. They had chandeliers. It said in the Sichos, the chandeliers were made by the Rebbe Marash. Imagine, the chandeliers in the Besmedish of Lubavitch were made by the Rebbe. Imagine that. The Rebbe went to France in 1947 to pick up his mother, and someone gave him a table to bring to the Frierdiker Rebbe. He hasn't gotten it yet to the second floor. The violin is the first floor. The Rebbe took it and put it in his room. And dort liegt es Adayem Hazeh. This is a table. The Rebbe Marash made it with his own hands. So the Rebbe Marash was playing with a little watch. And he was taking a pocket watch, taking it apart. We knew he was very, very understanding of these kinds of things, taking it apart and putting it back together. He was one of those kids, I didn't think you gave him machines with mechanical stuff and the rest. And the Maril walks in, and the Maril goes over to the Melamed, and he tells the Melamed that you're not treating all the kids fairly, that you're favoring my brother. He happened to be the Rebbe's son, the Tzemach Tzedek's ben Zekunim. Tzemach Tzedek's ben Zekunim. The Rebbe Marash used to say, you're older than me in your years, I'm older than you in my father's years. Even though that is young. So it wasn't Pashut, he was the Rebbe Marash. But the children of the Cheder were his nephews, were his brother's children. And he came to the Melamed to complain that the Melamed, what did they say in the 90s? Remember, preferential treatment. Preferential treatment is not allowed to be, everyone is the same. Preferential treatment. So the Maril comes into the Cheder and he's criticizing the Melamed for showing the Rebbe Marash favoritism. So as the Rebbe Marash is playing with the watch, he mutters, I say half, you should hear, you shouldn't hear, Azevi Sezokt, the Balagola, I forgot his first name. Ben Siyum the Balagola. Was größer de hinten als mehr fährt. What, they're older than me? Was größer da hinten? How you translate that in English delicately? Was größer da hinten als mehr Feld? If you have a bigger behind, you push it mehr Feld. So the Mario says, ooh, bis Goran Asponim. He tells the Rebbe Marash, who's not looking up, he's busy, he's playing with a watch, he's participating in the conversation without making eye contact. So the Rebbe Marash answered, Bruder, the S von Kabel der Saviche, was ihr mechast zu dem Mund, oder weißt du, was ist mit dem S von der Rabbis Talmidei Chachamim? He was 6 years old. And his brother was a tzaddik. The Rabbi was taka tzaddik. A oivid. So it says, Kabit es avicha v'esimecha. Es is l'rabbi sachicha godel. So the Marash tells him, you're mentioning the S, I should give you cover because I'm your older brother. What about the fact that I'm a big Talmid Chacham? Es l'rabbi, es Hashem l'kachatira. The Gemara says, right, that they used to be Danish, called Es and Shabbatayda. Every S they were Danish. Every S. What does S mean? S means a tofel. Like S, I'm sorry, you look Masech the Pesachim. S, atafel b'sari. S means secondary. Like Bereishis Bar Lakim, S Hashemayim. The S, it's S l'Rabbi Yisrael. What they were hosts of the heaven, whatever the word host means. S, ha'aretz l'Rabbi Yisrael. So every S they were Danish. But S Hashem al-Kechatira, who's tafel to the Eibishter? So the Gemara says that they were Danish only. Shimon HaMsfeni was Danish only Essen. When he got to Es Hashem al-Kechatira Pirish, he says, oh, there's nothing tafel to the Eibishter. And he said, Shem shekibalti schar ala drisha, kach akabel schar ala prisha. Just like I got schar for being Danish, only Esnam, and I get schar for not being Pirish. This says, Achabar Abakiva. V'darish es l'rabbeis Talmidei Chachamim. So the Rebbe Marash, the 6-year-old, is talking to his brother, who's literally 4 or 5 times his age, and says, you worried about Kibbutz Avim, your older brother, what about Talmid Chacham? So the Rebbe has a note in the Rishimis on this. This is in the Rishimis, who pays attention, that S teaches you Eishes Av. Kabit Es Avicha v'Es Imecha means you have to honor your father's wife, you honor your mother's husband if they remarry. So from the Vov, Kabit, so the Rebbe is very bothered by this, that the Rebbe Marash said S, whatever, I just mentioned it, so it's not the S, it's the Vov. This was the Lashon Hara. But now that I have your attention, maybe we'll sing a niggin and we'll all suck a sing along. What happens? We sing, you have 6 guys singing, the rest of the people are busy schmoozing. I'll tell you what's going to happen. If you don't sing, I'm going to talk. If I talk, you're going to fall asleep. Maybe that's what you want to do. I say to the Bacham Yeshiva, if I was the dorm counselor, everyone goes to sleep on time. No, a niggin, if I go to niggin somebody, Tzama lecha